Alright, we are back, and I believe we're headed to Hoax. Yeah, the town of Hoax. The front line of the war between the Empire and the Kingdom. This music here is just so unsettling. It's very fitting for a place on the front lines. It just sounds like things could go bad at any moment. Alright. As we do, let's explore the town, because there's treasure that we can rob. How are we doing on health? I don't think... We're good. We don't need to waste money. I really like how cheap the inns are in this game, but, on the other hand, because they're so cheap, makes me feel like maybe just save points should automatically restore your health. It's like, 10 gold is never going to be an issue for me, so why even make me go through this menu? Let's check out this lower door first. Unfortunate. This was the correct way to go. It's interesting that even soldiers all the way out here have heard of darts rescuing Levites. I mean, we just informed the king, like maybe even a few days ago. We're gonna lean into this whole childhood romance, this playthrough. We're not gonna be like the dumb idiot who doesn't understand the other person's feelings. We're gonna be nice, and hopefully we're gonna make this happen. But unfortunately, it seems like everyone's taking the piss out of Shauna's cooking. It can't be that bad. Alright, we are once again free to explore and loot the town. I have to remember to just click confirm on everything, because there may be Stardust around. Yep. I think that one was a bit obvious. You're naturally drawn to the flames. See here, there's a door here on the ramparts. Looks like it heads to a house. It's really hard to tell. There's a treasure. Give me some good stuff. Healing potions are always welcome. Seems like this town is pretty well stocked and ready for a siege. But with us here, we're not going to let it come to that. Our job is to deal with... possibly even deal with this dragon we've heard about. What is this? This old woman must be terrified. Just all of a sudden, somebody comes down from her attic, just randomly. Interesting. So, I had assumed at first that the Empire controlled this entire area of the continent and the kingdom broke away, but actually it was reverse. The split happened fairly recently, within the current king's lifetime. It seems there was a disagreement over the succession of the throne, and that led to the creation of the Empire. Well, that's actually interesting. So the attic, as of right now, is the only way into that room. She's got the front door boarded shut. I'm sure there was a Stardust in that room. There had to be. But then again, the funny little scene was good enough on its own. In the case of religion, any sort of hardship is just a trial from God. It's a real cop-out. Alright, it looks like we've seen everything we can see in this town, so we're going to go back to the commander. We'll be guarding this back gate. Conveniently, looking at the forest, where we last saw or where the dragon has been spotted, at least. So we're going to use the wildlife to help us scout a little bit. As long as the owls are making noise, they at least think they can safely assume there are no hidden armies moving or large creatures. But suddenly, the entire forest goes quiet. This area is really not very well fortified. As much as it looks it, the enemy can just hop in as they please. We're really short-staffed. And unfortunately, we're going to have to do these fights without Shauna. Even though Shauna doesn't have any additions, her extra damage is worth it, I think. Able to finish off enemies or use items. I've really grown to appreciate her. As a kid, as soon as I was able to replace her, I did. And maybe I'll even do that here. But I'm already thinking in my head, maybe for like the final battle or something, we'll bring a bow user. Because who else is going to just chain use items at the end of the game? I'm sure by that point we'll have a huge supply of just attack items. I'll gladly take a free healing potion. Ever since that first dungeon where we almost ran out, you can never have enough. I mean, he's not wrong. This is pretty weak. So now we're going to fight this elite enemy 1v1. Never mind, Levitz quickly catches up to us. I don't know, I was kind of hoping for a 1v1. I like a good 1v1 sometimes. Man, I'm actually really liking this game. Like, the attack animations are fantastic. Especially for the enemies. This guy really likes to counter. Okay. These ninjas can actually use magic, it seems. If I need to use items, I'll definitely use Levitz, since he's doing the least amount of damage right now. Alright. I'm assuming the two illusions will disappear once we actually attack the real one. Alright. Still not my turn. Here's my logic. This guy right here, his shadow is a lot darker than the other two. So I'm going to make the assumption that he's the real one. I was incorrect. Oof. Taking 40 damage every turn. Or just Levite is taking a pounding here. Okay. Here's logic part 2. This guy's shadow is larger than the other two. Let's try him. We got him. I'm sure the shadows have absolutely nothing to do with it. But I've got confirmation bias. Obviously it was the shadows. Go ahead and use another healing potion. It makes sense that these guys are just focusing on Levite. Levite is actually a famous soldier. Okay. I don't know, this guy looks like he has the larger shadow. Let's try it. I was right. A healing breeze. We'll have to look at that. It'd be nice if that was like a party-wide health increase. That's a big boy right there. They call him Giganto. Maybe that's a species name, or maybe he's just a regular human. I don't know. Yeah. Healing breezes recover half HP for all party members, so that'll be useful eventually. And I think I just noticed something. Let me just select healing. I believe the color in your nameplates and enemies' nameplates dictates the element these guys are. So Kongol is Earth element or brown element. But if he's Earth element, whatever the opposite of Earth is in this game, I want to say wind, maybe? Or Earth? Go by Pokemon rules. He's weak to earth or wind. Not wind, but water and plant. I don't know. We have some electricity damage items. If this were real world logic, then electricity wouldn't do anything. Let's see. Looks like we ran out of the spark items. I was gonna try to use a spark item just to see how much damage it did, because I don't know what the elemental strengths and weaknesses are in this game yet. Ow. Okay. So every time you fail an addition, he'll attack you. Oh, jeez. We're dead. If he keeps doing those party-wide attacks, we'll make use of that healing breeze. Levitz might actually have maxed out Harpoon by now, especially in a boss fight like this, where he's just tanking so much damage. We'll make use of that healing breeze. Ha! I love it. So now we're rescued by this flying thing. She awakens this power within us, and we re-emerge as the namesake of this game, a Dragoon. This was the woman who saved us from the dragon at the beginning of the game. You remember at the beginning of the game, after we left to go to cells, something in her hand shone, and as if it was reacting to our presence. So that's how she knew that we could do this thing. Seems like the person in purple, her name is Rose. And she's also a Dragoon. So Shauna believes that this Rose is someone Darts has a romantic connection to, or whatever. So, and we can play into that if we choose this, but we're not gonna. She's not romanceable in any way. There's no romance options in this game, as if I recall correctly. So there's no point in just riling people up other than seeing comedic scenes. Seems like the keepsake Dart got from the destroyed town of, what was it called? His actual destroyed hometown, not Cells, but the other one. His father's keepsake. It's the key to becoming a Dragoon. If you remember the story about the dragon campaign, we were told the power that the dragons gave humans, or the dragons, or the humans took from the dragons to fight the winged people, was the power of the Dragoon. And that power still exists today. You just have to call upon it. You need this dragon orb, or dragon eye, or dragon thingy in order to do so, but that power wasn't lost entirely. Rose is more cynical than anybody else in the game. You can tell already she has seen some shit. But now the dragon is attacking the kingdom's fortifications in the marshland. Rose is convinced that normal humans can't do anything about it, that sending the actual knighthood to fight it would just lead to more deaths. So Darts believes that this newfound power of his will give him the power to defeat a dragon. So that's our mission now. We were always probably going to encounter the dragon, but maybe now we have the power to stop it. Thankfully, Rose has agreed to help us. That means we have 2 Dragoons in this fight against the dragon, and we're gonna need it. How's our health doing? We got a full health, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to replace Shauna with Rose. And that is for one reason only. Or maybe 2 reasons. One, Shauna doesn't have any additions, so the fact that we don't use her isn't going to hurt her much. Rose does have additions, and the more we use her, the stronger she'll get. So, we are disincentivized from ever using Shauna or any other bow users. Even though she's good at using items and attack items, because she's got nothing better to do, everyone else will be significantly weaker the more you use Shauna. Because the more you use Shauna, the less you'll use their additions. Which is really the only thing I don't like about this game. Like, I kind of want to use Shauna in this playthrough now, but at the same time, I kind of want to level up everyone else, all their additions. They have unique playstyles to them, so... Alright. Levitz' harpoon has 17 more uses before it's done. So, we'll try to keep that in our head somehow. Now the Kingdom soldiers are already looking at Darts like a savior. But Darts is just a normal mercenary, just barely even older than 20. And he's a complete rookie when it comes to being a Dragoon. So Rose is going to teach him a few things. Alright, so the more you use your additions, your SP meter will increase. And notice that now that we have a Dragonstone, we actually have MP now, magic points. So, in order to transform, we need to in order to transform, we need to accumulate enough SP to fill that meter. It looks like 100 SP is needed for at least a rank 1 transformation. There's a 0 to the right of the transformation bar, which tells me that maybe you can save up multiple ranks of transformation. Alright, we're treated with a nice Power Rangers-esque transformation scene. Now we're flying! Okay, so Dragoons have their own additions. Okay. So Dragon editions are completely different. So it's the same basic premise as a QuickTime event, except instead of hitting the button when the squares line up, you just have this circular meter and you hit it when it reaches the top. It's a relatively good way to make mechanics seem different without changing the entire feel of the game. What does it mean by strength 50%? So I don't know what it means when it says strength 50%. Maybe that's just signifying that that's the weakest form of magic? I don't know. Maybe future magics would be like strength 75% or strength 100%. And maybe that's the game's way of telling you roughly how much damage a magic spell would use without giving you flat damage numbers. Like Flame Shot would be 50% amount of damage as whatever the 100% thing is. That's only if that's really the case. I don't know. Alright. I think we've got the gist of it. Alright, we need to head towards the marshlands. Excuse me, Shauna. I thought I replaced you. Oh well. We need to try to not kill people with darts. I want Levitz to have a chance to use his additions. Alright, let's try this again. Right? Right, okay. The power wrist might be pretty good to give to Shauna if we were using her. And that would bring her strength up on par with everyone else. Alright. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to go to the marshlands. I'll see you guys then.